you guys? It's your girl, Miss Vetta Shanice, and welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can see, we're gonna have a little bit of a girl talk, kind of more so for my ladies. Fellas, if you wanna watch, that's fine too. So I basically wanted to talk about what it was like growing up without a dad. Because I feel like something in my eye. Oh, my eyes itching. Okay. I feel like a lot of girls may be able to relate, you know? And if you know me, you know I love to talk. I love to talk about relatable things, relatable topics. Because ultimately, it can help the next person, you know? So, okay. So, I just want to give a little background on my parents. My mom and my dad met in New York. Had children. My dad had kids before he met my mom. And then my mom had my older sister by him and me. So my mom had, it's always some thumping upstairs. But my mom had my older sister and then me, so 2 kids by him. So, girl, when I was like 2.5, 3 years old, my dad walked out on his family. He was the first woman that my dad married was my mom. And he walked out on his family. You know, typical sucker shit. You know. And I would just never understand how any parent, this not only goes for my fathers out there, but this also goes for deadbeat mothers. How can you bring a child into this world and not take care of them? Like, not want to be in their life, not want to know how they're doing. I will never understand that, and that will forever be some sucker shit. Okay? Forever be some sucker shit. Basically, he walked out on his family, and my sister, I think she was like 10 or 12 or something like that. I just know I was like 2 or 3, one of those. So it was around that time. And yeah. So he left his family for a woman who he thought was, gonna be better than my mom, And ultimately the grass was not greener on the other side. But that's neither here or there. So basically growing up, it really didn't affect me. Like, because I was brought up in such a loving household, and most of my life, so from when I was born until the age of 8 years old, I was in New York. Okay, and one thing I can say about my father's side of the family, although he walked out on his family, first of all, he walked out on all 6 of his daughters, including me. And we have a little brother, and that's the only one he raised from birth until, until he got grown. And he's still in his life frequently today, So, very much so in his life still today. I don't even know how old my brother is at this point. I don't know if he's 18 or 19, one of those 2. But yeah, basically he walked out on all 6 of his daughters, but not his son. So it never really affected me growing up. Like, I had my moments where I questioned, like, why don't my dad come around? Like, basically, when I lived in New York, I lived with my grandmother, his mother. Like, and my mom, I would go home on the weekends because I was my grandmother's baby. Like, I was my grandmother's baby. Okay, nobody could do anything to me. Okay, nobody could discipline me around her. Nothing. Like, I was her golden child. So I stayed with my grandmother on the weekdays because I went to PS 132, which was behind Webster Projects, and that's where my grandma stayed. So I used to stay with my grandma on the weekends and go home. Stay with my grandma on the weekdays and go home on the weekends. But then ultimately, because my dad wanted to pull some sucker shit, stuff got hard, and we had to move in with my grandma. And it was a full house, okay? A full freaking house. But that was like some of my best memories to date. And I used to wonder as a kid, you know, why don't my dad come around? Like, at first I never used to really question why he wasn't there for me, you know? But it'll be times where all of my other cousins and their dads would be around, and my uncles and his brothers and his sisters. And when I started to get like 6, I'm just like, well, where's my dad? Like, this his mother, this is his dad, these are his sisters and brothers, like. And then it's like, as I got older, you know, you start to piece together little things. Like, you start to be like, okay, well, everybody else has memories. As far as my siblings, everybody else has memories with my dad. He was a part of their life for a little while. He was in my sister's life for a little while before he dipped, you know. And it's like, I used to always think, did he leave because of me? Like, that's what I used to always think that as a kid. Like, did he up and leave when I was born because he didn't want me? But what did I do? I didn't ask to be born. Like, these are things that I used to ask myself, like, what did I do to him? Because everybody else had, you know, a little bit of time with him. And then when I was born, this nigga's just up and left. So here and there, that kind of used to mess with me as a kid, but I was surrounded by so much love that it really wasn't that difficult. I would honestly say it wasn't that difficult. And I had my uncles, I had cousins, male cousins, by the boatload, okay? Like, aunts, my mom. Let me tell you something about this woman, okay? My mom is such a phenomenal woman. And I'm getting emotional, I'm not gonna cry, but my mom is the epitome of what a mother is and what a mother should be. And I'm forever so grateful for her, because she took in one of my dad's children, which is one of my sisters, from the age of 3, you know, and she didn't have to do that. But that's just who my mother is, and that's who my sister calls her mother, you know. And my mother is just, her heart is a heart of gold. That's where I get my heart from right there. I get my selfless personality from my mother, because that lady has shown me nothing but unconditional. And when I mean unconditional, there is no conditions on my mother's love. She does not make any type of difference between her daughters. We are all treated equally. We all got our ass beat the same, okay? We all got the punishment the same. Now, my older siblings probably got it a little worse than me. You know, the babies, I feel like the youngest kid is always the most, they're always the most lenient on the youngest. And I feel like my mom also was a little bit more lenient with me, because she used to always tell me she felt guilty. Because, like I said, all my other siblings had a little bit of time with him, a little bit of years with him. I had basically 2 years that I don't have no memory of. You know? So to me, you were never in my life. Like, I have very faint memories of him when I was little. Like, he literally left when I was born, basically. But when my mom used to tell me that, I used to be like, you have nothing to feel guilty about. This isn't your fault this man walked out on his family and cheated on you and had a baby on you and all of that. That's not your fault. That is nowhere near your fault. That is something he chose to do. And I used to always tell my mother, you are a phenomenal woman. I don't know what went on before I was born, but to my recollection and the amount of love and passion I see my mom give me and others on a daily, that's his fault he missed out on a good woman. That will forever be his fault. And like I said, it never really used to bother me, but I did have my moments. Like there was moments where there was father daughter dances, and I would just be like, nah, I'm not even gonna go. I'm not even gonna ask our uncle to go with me because I don't even want to go. I don't want to be around that. I don't want to see other girls with their real dad. Although there would probably be other girls with their uncle. I don't want to go. I don't want to see it. That's how I was at one point. But I used to love seeing father-daughter relationships. It gave me hope. And there was a time in high school from 10th to 12th grade. My dad was an active dad. 10th to 12th grade, my dad became an active dad for 3 years due to the fact that his crazy ass wife was letting him. She finally got her act together. My mom, they were co-parenting. Everything was just going smoothly. How a blended family should work for the sake of the children. You know, you don't have to like each other, but make it work for your children. And my mom always tried to do that, but he always let a woman get in the way of his relationship with his kids. You don't have to have a relationship with my mother. But like I said, sucker shit, you know? But yeah, my mom always tried to do that. And it'll go smooth for some months, maybe a year, surprisingly, 2 years. Wow, when it went to 3, I was surprised, okay? Because I'm like, wow, my dad really trying. Come through, nigga, come through, okay? Like, I was spending spring breaks with him because I forgot to even tell y'all, I ended up moving to Virginia, boom, boom, bam, and my dad ended up moving to Richmond, which was 1 hour from where I grew up. And so basically when I got to high school, 10th to 12th grade, he was an active dad. He used to come get me. My mom and him used to meet up, or we'll go to Richmond and meet up, or sometimes he used to come get me, and, you know, I'll spend weekends with them. Him, his wife, my little brother, you know, like, all well and good, you know? Even when I was going off to my high school graduation, like, I think I was the first kid of his that he's seen graduate. That was big to me. I had to see both of my parents side by side at my high school graduation, knowing the turmoil. You couldn't even get them in the room together without something without something happening. And to see them side by side, my mom, my sister, my dad, I'm not even about to call this bitch my stepmom, his wife, and my little brother, cheering me on at the same time, taking pictures. And the next day, my graduation cookout, my dad cooking on a grill, my mom getting stuff together, doing this, doing that. She's not my stepmom. But his wife mingling with my mom's family, my mom's mom. Like, it was just a beautiful moment. And he even helped me move into college. Like, him and my mom worked together to help get me to school. And all of this was just like, I'm like, yo, he is really trying to get a relationship with me. And you can never not, it's never too late. It's never too late. But yeah, he was trying. And then once again, he let his crazy wife get in the way of his relationship with his kids. And I have not heard from my dad since. It's been 5 years? No, not even 5 years, 7 years now. I've been graduated out of college 2 years. When I graduated college, it was 5 years. It's 2 years later, 2020, 7 years now. So haven't heard from him in 7 years. I spoke to him briefly. No, I lied. I spoke to him for like a solid minute in 2019 when I heard he was in the hospital for his heart. And y'all know my own dad couldn't even tell me he loved me. He couldn't even say it back, y'all, and it did not hurt my feelings. I thought it would hurt my feelings. it did not hurt me at all, because I'm just like, you can have all of that guilt up in you, but at the end of the day, I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So I will always have some type of love for you. I don't have to like you at all. I ain't got to deal with you. I ain't got to take care of you. I ain't got to do none of that. But I will always have love for the man. I'll always pray for good health because he's very sickly. I'll always pray for good health, and I'll always have love for him. I don't wish no bad, no harm, nothing, because again, I wouldn't have been graced with the mother that I have and the family that he had, that I was blessed to be born into, because they are amazing. I love them so much. Like, I love them so much. Like, those are my hearts right there. And I just don't understand why my dad is like, I don't know. Girl, he is different, okay? He is different. Something is wrong. I started to think that, like, when I got older, I'm not even gonna lie, it's some things that a dad needs to teach you that a mother can't. In some things. And what I mean by that is teaching you about men. Giving you the rope-a-dopes. Okay? Now, I was around male figures, but I never really had that talk from a man's perspective until I got grown. I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have nobody schooling me. My mom tried to do it, but it's like, women, sometimes we clash. Raising a daughter, sometimes we clash, you know? So, yeah, like, it's some things that I wish that he could have been around for, like, giving me the rope-a-dopes about these niggas. Because, child, I'm over. But, yeah, just, like, teaching me the basics about men. You know, I feel like a lot of women who have an absent father, we subconsciously go through a lot of things because we don't know how to emotionally handle it, because we didn't have that male, that constant role figure in our life. Now, that doesn't mean to use that as a crutch every time you go through something with the man. Oh, my dad wasn't there. You can't. At some point, you have to take accountability for yourself. You know, although dad wasn't there, what are you gonna do about it? You know, and that's what I had to learn. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna be angry because this nigga wasn't here for when I had the queen of all queens in my corner? I never had to want for anything. We struggled. We had some hard times, but my mother busted her tail. Okay? I was a very happy kid. A very happy kid. I had a very delightful upbringing. I had some hard times living in Virginia with my very trying Southern family. They are a whole nother story. But my mother, she's the core of everything. And that's why when I make it, this woman wouldn't even have to lift a finger if she doesn't want to. She could complain all day. Yeah, even though it gets on my nerves, you got it, sis. You deserve it. And that's why I am going to forever bust my butt to make sure my mother is straight. Anybody that knows me, you know I do not play about that woman. I will fight anybody. Honestly, family and all. I don't care when it comes to that woman. Listen, she ain't perfect by all means. You know, my mom don't back us up when we wrong. Although I back my mom up, right, wrong, or indifferent, okay? Regardless. But that woman has a heart of gold. And like I said, it's all smoke behind that one. I don't ever want us women to ever feel inadequate because dad wasn't there. Dad. At the end of the day. Because when you grow up and you become that good thing, Dad gonna wish he was there. And it's ultimately gonna be up to us whether we're gonna allow him to be there because he's Dad and because we wouldn't be here without him, or if we're just gonna give him the cold shoulder like he gave us all these years. Because payback is a mother. And with the heart that I have, I feel like when and if my dad decides to come around, because I'm taking off very soon, I don't think I'll ever have the desire of wanting to gain a relationship. It's too late for that, buddy. It is way too late for that. I don't really care to have that, oh, call, pick up the phone, talk, let's have a relationship. For what? For what? It's gonna take 23 years to know me, because that's how many years you missed, basically. And I'm just like, I'm not about to sit up here and teach you about me. I'm a grown-ass fucking woman. I will make sure my dad is straight. Well, no, I won't even say straight. I will give him the bare necessities that he may need. And that's it. You can have my number, emergencies only. Don't call me for nothing else. Like, and it's sad that I'm handling it that way. I'm not even angry. But I don't want him around me. And that sounds so bad, but that's how I feel. I'm energies. And I feel like he will forever be stuck in his ways. I feel like he feels guilty. He has his moments where he's like, damn, I ain't this shit. I really ain't shit. I know he got his moments. Because you can't tell me they ain't never been a deadbeat ass who ain't never had a moment where they thought about it. They thought about it. They just ain't fixing it. They comfortable. And I'm here to tell you, stay comfortable. Stay comfortable, my man. Because I know one of y'all watching, okay? Never feel inadequate. Never feel like you're missing out on anything. Because you are phenomenal. We are phenomenal. We don't ever need anybody to be there for us that don't want to be there for us. Fuck 'em. Chuck the deuces up on their ass at the end of the day, okay? Because that's where I'm at with his ass. That's where I'm at with the whole situation. It's all love, but don't come over here with shit sweet. You get what you need. What you need? You need your medicine? You need some food in your house? Cool. You good. What else? Oh, you got to get to a doctor's appointment? Let me call you an Uber. Like, that's it. That's it, bruh. Yes, you guys. That is all I have for this video. I'm also going to be doing my new moon ritual tonight. That's probably going to be uploaded before this video or after. But if it's uploaded before, you're going to see my letter to my dad video. You're going to hear me read the letter to my dad that I'm going to be burning to just release the last little bit of resentment that I may have stored anywhere subconsciously. Let's get all of that up out of us. Let's purge it. It's not serving us no purpose. It's really not. And y'all will hear that in my new moon ritual, so stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Miss Retta Shanice, and also don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you all in my new moon ritual. I'm gonna have on the same thing, so be on the lookout. Talk to you guys later.